think what we can do is we can get started, and more people will join us as we go. And this is also recorded as well. So if anyone misses any parts of this, we can always be putting up the recording later. So cool. Let's get into it. So look, we've got Kar here today from Birdeye, and thank you very much for joining us. And I think we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different things today. But look, I think it would be really cool if maybe Kar, you can sort of introduce yourself, a little bit about Birdeye, and what you guys have going on. So maybe we can just start sort of what is Birdeye, and we can go from there.
Sure. Thank you very much, Staff Finance and George, for having me today. My name is Kar, and I'm the co-founder at Birdeye. Birdeye has been going live for over 1 year now. I believe that many of you guys already want to try using our product. So you probably have some idea what it is. We are a trading data aggregator. What we do is we're getting data from the Solana blockchain, and then we indexing that, and then we present it to you guys, do some analytics and visualizations, so that you can make better decision in buying or selling any tokens. And we are kind of popular during the bonk craze, and I think many of you get to know what I because of that. But absolutely, we're tracking every assets on Solana blockchains. Currently, there's about 7,000 tokens, and we have the real-time price of every token among that. And we're also tracking all the traders on the wallet as well, so you can actually going over there and to check for a bunch of data, so that you can have better and more informed decisions. Yeah, I think that is briefly.
Yeah, that's a great overview, and you mentioned about bonk as well, and how maybe that's how a lot of people got to know Birdeye and understand. How did that go for you guys? Like, how did people discover Birdeye during bonk? Because I remember when bonk was a thing and everyone was really interested in it. For somehow everyone got onto Birdeye. Like, was that something deliberate that you guys were going for? Was it just an accident? Was it yeah, I don't know. How did people find out about Birdeye from that?
Well, it was a very big surprise for us as well, as the developers of Birdeye, because before Bonk, we also have some traffic, but it's not as crazy. I think part of the reason why people using Birdeye as a primary tools to checking for the bond price is that we are basically the only place where they can check the price back at that time. And even now, there are not many places that can offer you the real-time on-chain data, because as traders, right, you're gonna need the most updated, most real-time data, so that you can, buy and sell on the, like, a lot of people using our 1 minute candles, okay? So, and especially for the tokens, like for the meme tokens like Bonk, then that is very popular. And I think back at that time in January, Birdeye is the only place that offer all those things. Something very simple, but to do that it is quite difficult, because Solana data and infrastructure is quite difficult to deal with. So yeah, and I think we also be able to do that because we have about over 1 year of preparations for that moment. To be honest, we don't know when such a moment gonna happen, but we know that it gonna happen, because once in a while there will be something as crazy as Bonk. So it just came to us too fast. But because we have some preparation before that, we can handle the traffic. We can fix some performance bug within just a few hours. So I think that's why people keep going back to using our tools.
Yeah, and it's these certain things that happen that cause everyone to go to the one place at one time, right? So USDC DPEG is another example of that, right? Where you've got some
Exactly.
event that everyone is sort of really interested in, and maybe there's not that many tools around. Certainly, the real time stuff as well is important, because maybe that's also something which people aren't aware of in the world of analytics. Is some places are going to show you data which is outdated by whatever it is, an hour, a day, some period of time, and actually finding a real time source of information is quite a different. Well, yeah, it is quite different, isn't it? Like, there's not that many platforms that do it. So, uh, are you guys like? I guess each time something interesting comes along, whether it's USDC or whether it's Bonk, or people really wanting information on one particular topic, is that something that I guess you guys have now seen happen a few times, so you're more prepared? Because last time you mentioned like you at least had some time to get ready for Bonk and to fix things where necessary. But do you need much preparation when something like this happens? Like, are there like, do servers not work? Do the indexing? Are there problems with indexing? Like, what are some of the things which can happen during some of these crazy events?
Um, well, yeah, I think most of us gonna agree that in crypto we cannot know what kind of event gonna happen next, right? What kind of craziness gonna awaiting for us tomorrow. So we also have the same mentality. We don't know what's gonna come, but we know that whatever comes, it's gonna require a very stable system, a very good performance, uh, a, a system with like very high performance. So we prepare it that way. We're trying to get our data as real time as possible, and we build our backend in a way that it can handle a very high traffic. So I think now at this moment, if the Bonk event, something like at the same scale as the Bonk event happen again, there will be no problem for us. We already prepared for the events that is like two, three times, or even five times bigger than that. I think at the bottom line, that is how we can prepare for all the events. But to be honest, we don't know what going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a good problem to have as well. If you're trying to plan for, everyone wanting your product, like, this is a good thing. Okay, like, maybe we can also talk a bit about the pro features that you have, and I think this has been something which you've been refining. I think since I first started with Birdeye, maybe they weren't as developed, and now there is quite a lot of different pro features. But maybe you can talk about, like, what are the pro features that are currently on Birdeye, and who are the people that would find this interesting as well? Like, is this, I don't know, every sort of random crypto person? Is it people that are looking for specific information? And what can they get from some of the pro plans? Because I think the pro plans are focused on like traders as well as people that are building stuff, right? So there's two different types of users there. So yeah, who are these people? What are they looking for? And what can be done on some of the pro plans?
Yeah. So to answer that question, that's actually quite a number of questions. So I would say a little bit about our products lines. We can call it that way. So back in Breakpoint, right? Going back to like when we met before for the Next Billion podcast. Back then, Birdeye was simply a tool where you can check the token price. Uh, we have the data for every tokens, but then it is only token price. After that, we figure out that as traders, you're gonna need a lot more data than that, especially with the on-chain data, right? You can actually have a lot of of analytics and visualizations. So after the tokens, we are going to the analyze on the traders, right? We getting the data from every wallet on Solana and put them into like whoever qualify as traders. Then we're gonna analyze their PNL, their trading style, and their gains or their loss. And then we also analyze to the trade itself. So we release our features like 5 trades, and before that it was a trader profile. At this current moment, we have different products, which is like analyze the tokens, analyze the traders, and analyze the trades. And there will be a lot more. And what we find out is that there are some people, most of the people are gonna just want to view some basic information, like token price and some trader P&L and some trades. They want to filter some trades. But there are some other people who are more serious in their trading activities, like they do it daily, and they use our platform every day, probably multiple times per day, and they want to have better data, right? So that they can make better decision, faster decision as well. So they want to have more time frame of those data. They want to have like very short time frame, right? Or the data come back to like the analytics in half an hour, the analytics in 1 hour or in two hours, so that they can decide that okay, this is trending right now. So they want to flip. It's like the buying and selling in within just a few minutes or probably maximum 1 hour. So that's when we think that okay, we should develop a pro version where we invest more in the infrastructures, invest more in the effort to optimize the performance of the site, just to serve for those serious traders. And that's why we have the pro version. And if you guys use our pro version, you want to see that we are very optimized for the traders, like for the professional traders who want to have the data in very short time frame. So those are the people who they can spend like hours and hours per day using Birdeye, and they buy and sell stuff right in our platform. And that's who we built the pro version for.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you have APIs as well, which like other projects can make use of. And I forget what app it was the other day that I was using that also had Birdeye data, but there's probably quite a few now. People that are building maybe for the Grizzlython as well. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. We can maybe talk about that in a moment, but I guess as well, like this, there's individuals who are traders and really care about financial stuff. Cool, they will be a pro user. And then there's also individual projects as well, which maybe are consuming this data, maybe they want to display it in their app. And there's also APIs for these types of projects as well, right?
Yep, exactly. So some we have our public APIs, and we also have the APIs for the enterprise, which is a paid version. So our public APIs, uh, it is just something that we just put out there so that people can just use it for free. We want to support all the on other individual projects, or probably just some individuals want to build something small but useful, something like some bots, some Telegram bots or Discord bot, Twitter bot, something like that. So we have a set of free public APIs, but we also have a paid version for the project as well. So for that paid version, we offer a lifetime data streaming. So basically, other projects can display the token charts very similar to what we have on Birdeye.so. So currently, our data is being used by a number of major projects on Solana right now. I think you probably use one of them, something like Jupiter use our data. Mongo
Yeah,
is
I think
using
it
our
was
data.
Prism. Was it Prism? Did
Yeah,
they use
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Prism is also one of our very early clients. And we also have Ultimate wallet as well. They are very cool wallets, very user friendly. And there are a couple more, but I cannot say. Yeah, but we have that set of very large projects that use our data, which is something that we are very honored as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I think as well, so recently, changing topic, there was the Hacker House in Ho Chi Minh, and I think
Yeah.
you also got to meet some of the Step team who were around as well. maybe tell us about that. What was it like? What was the discussion points? Who were the people that were going there? Because I'm like, actually, there's quite a few really top quality projects in Vietnam from in the Solana ecosystem, and that's been really awesome to see. So yeah, maybe tell us a little bit about that. How was the Hacker House? Because that was only like last week or something, right?
Yeah, sure. It is less than 1 week ago. And if you guys may know, then I'm a Vietnamese at heart, and this is the first time Solana has their major events here in Vietnam, and which I'm very glad. And I go over there and to meet up with people, and with the expectation that we're gonna see a lot of Vietnamese projects. But I'm quite surprised because there are a lot of projects from overseas, from other countries, even from the US or from Europe. They also fly over. So it was like there's a very good diversity over there. There's quite a lot of Vietnamese project, obviously, but then there's also quite a lot of the projects from the region as well, like Singapore, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, Japan, uh, something like that. And the atmosphere was incredible because that the Grizzlethon this year there was like over 800 something projects submission. And many of them, if they are nearby, they're gonna just go to the hiker house, and then they're gonna just meet up with each others and sharing their ideas, sharing their progress. And it was incredible to see all the masters at work. Like people are very hardworking, and they're very open to share. There are a couple of very fun and nice side event as well. So yeah, I'm very glad, and the event was a very successful one, I think.
Yeah, and was there many projects from Vietnam from the Grizzlython? Because usually at these hacker houses, they sort of announce like how many people are from that part of the world that are doing the Grizzlython. And I think Vietnam was at least top five, maybe top three in terms of number of submissions for the Grizzlython, something like that.
Um, I'm I don't think I have that number because
Yeah,
I was coming to the event 1 day late and leave 1 day early. But then I met up
it's a
and I
lot.
talked. I actually met up and talked to a number of those team. Like most of them are very young, like in their like 20s or something. Most of them are students, but they are building something very serious, like something like wallets, something like games, and some DeFi protocols, something like complex. So I think that they're onto something very nice, and they're like a very energetic. Like they always willing to share their what they are doing, and um, it was just a very good atmosphere to be.
Yeah, and just to be clear as well for people that aren't familiar, like the Grizzlython is the Solana Global Hackathon, which has been just finished recently. Actually, I think the total list of all of the projects. I was looking today, and I have no idea how I'm going to get through all 800, but there's a lot, and the number of projects submitted is comparable to when people like Google or Amazon do a hackathon, right? So there's
Mm.
literally close to 10,000 people that are signing up to these things, and there's 800 submissions, and they're from all different sort of areas of people building stuff. Yes, many of them might not get beyond the hackathon stage, but even if 10% do, that's thousands of new people that are building things, and new projects that are coming into the ecosystem doing stuff. So it's really cool to see, and it's cool to see that Solana are also doing this all over the world in various parts of the world as well. And that's something unique, which you don't see other chains doing. And I think some people have tried to emulate it, but I think Solana does the best job for that. They have pretty much every month there's a new hackathon somewhere in the world. I think the next one is in Taiwan. So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess Ho Chi Minh was the Southeast Asia one. And to be honest, like probably there's more, like in terms of Southeast Asia, like Vietnam's probably the most active place. Often you would think it's like a Singapore or something, but I think it's probably Vietnam, with like number of submissions and projects and all this sort of stuff, for all of Southeast Asia. And yes, Singapore is there. I think Indonesia is there as well somewhere. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of really cool stuff happening there. So if anyone is listening and they see that there is one of these hackathons coming to them somewhere near in the world at some stage, you should go, because they're great fun, and also you get to meet a whole bunch of interesting people, and all of the people there are trying to build something cool, and yeah, they really want sort of input from others. So that was great. And yeah, so I guess we're halfway through, or we're not even halfway through actually. We're coming up to Q2, I guess, for 2023. But what's on the horizon for Birdeye? What have you guys got for coming up this year? What are you looking forward to? What are the cool things which yeah, you can tell us about, or just generally excited for this year?
Um, yeah. So we have been having very fun few last month, and we plan to do more. We have a bunch of things we want to do in 2023. And we are looking forward into like generally when we're talking about like business strategy and stuff. Then we want to expand our data coverage first, because we are a data company, and we want to serve people with the data that they need. So currently we are focusing on DeFi, right? Like all the DeFi data about the tokens, about the traders, about the trades, and then our next step gonna be something probably a little bit more adventurous. Something that we are having in mind is about derivatives market, about NFT, and uh, and we may go multi-chain as well. So that is something that I think very natural when as a traders, right? Like I don't think there's any traders that trade exclusively on only on Solana, or probably on one chain. Most of the people are gonna use different chains. So we want to serve that demand. Many of our existing users already ask us, like when we need support Ethereum data or Binance Smart Chain data or Polygon data, stuff like that. So I think that is something very reasonable if we, following that call and to explore the opportunities in the space that is quite new to us, but I think also like promise a lot of opportunities. Um, yes, and also we want to do more of the market stuff. We want to reach out to more users because basically from the very start, we haven't done a lot of proper marketing activities, and this MA is actually our first one from the very start. So that's what we want to do more. We want to listen more to our audience, to listen more to our users, and get more feedback so that we can build the tools better. Right? We want to talking to the general traders because they have different perspective with the professional traders. So we want to listen to everybody so that we can optimize our tools for different kind of users.
Yeah, no, I think
Yep.
it totally makes sense as well for the multi-chain kind of stuff as well. And you can prove out like a lot of these people that I think right now everyone's FOMOing to get their airdrop on Arbitrum, and things are blowing up and not working and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those users, maybe they've never used Solana, they've never used these different dexes and that sort of thing, and they're all potential people that can be signing up and paying for a pro plan and basically using the product, right? So it does make sense that's the next logical step, and they can see like what the what Birdeye is all about from all of the other stuff that you guys have been doing with Solana for a long time, right? So that's cool. That does make sense for the rest of this year, and also we did record for those who haven't seen like an IRL episode earlier in the year at Breakpoint as well. Kara and I sat down and we were talking all things at the end of last year. So if you haven't seen that, definitely tune in and do that. And as well, you mentioned the partnerships of working with with other people in the community. And I think that's something which we're really interested in doing. And I think that's probably the way forward for a lot of us. Is there's a lot of different crypto projects out there. Everyone's sort of trying to do their own thing most of the time, but it's much better to grow the whole ecosystem together. So whether it's AMAs or whether it's other different things that can be done on the marketing front or whatever, we're super happy to do that. So yeah, look, everyone needs to go and check Birdeye if you haven't already, and go and check out some of their pro features as well. And all of the different on-chain data is super interesting. We use it here at Step as well to just sort of find out what's happening in the markets and that sort of thing. So go check them out. Is there anything else that we should be that you'd like to talk about today, or tell people about interesting new things, or where should people go as well? Like obviously the website, but do you guys have blog or anything like that? I guess social media is Birdeye on Twitter, right?
Yep, thank you for bringing that up because as I said before, we want to do some more marketing stuff in the next few weeks or few months. So we will have quite a lot of activities going on. We're gonna have some competitions. We're gonna have some Twitter events. So with some rewards as well. So if you are interested in those kind of activities, you can just absolutely keep an eye on our Twitter account, and there will be announcement over there and in our Discord as well.
Awesome. Yep. Go join the Discord as well if you haven't already. But look, thank you so much for your time today, Kat. It's been a pleasure as always. Birdeye is awesome. We love it. And yeah, keep up the good work. And it'll be exciting to see some of these 800 different projects coming out from the Grizzlython. I dare say at least some of them are going to be using Birdeye data for something at some stage. So that'll be really cool to see as well. So yeah, look, thanks for joining us today, and we'll get this recording up as well if anyone has missed it at any stage. And yeah, have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you very much for having me. This is always a pleasure having the opportunities to working with Staff Finance.
No problem. Awesome. See you later, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.